The students under chapter body fluids and circulation, in our last class we have learned cardiac output. So we will just recall what we have learnt about cardiac output, then we will continue the chapter. So we will just see what we have learnt in last class, recapitulation. I am not going to draw once again heart structure. I am not going to draw because already 3 to 4 times we have done this. Anyway, so we have learnt cardiac output, that is total volume of blood pumped by the ventricles in 1 minute. Okay, so what we have learnt is to calculate cardiac output, we need to know cardiac cycles. So cardiac output you can calculate easily by having two things. One is stroke volume, that is a formula to calculate output. Stroke volume into number of beats, or you can also call heart rate. So what is stroke volume? Stroke volume is volume of blood pumped by the ventricles in cardiac cycle. So stroke volume means volume of blood pumped by the ventricles in a cardiac cycle, that is calculated as 70 ml. 70 ml. So heart rate is heartbeats on an average 72 times. So to calculate cardiac output, it is very easy. That is a formula. Cardiac output is equal to stroke volume into heart rate, that is how many times heart beats. Stroke volume is 70 ml into 72 times it beats. So it comes some 5040. So approximately this is equal to approximately 5000 ml blood per minute. This is the volume of blood pumped by the ventricles, okay, in cardiac cycle in 1 minute. So or 5000 ml means, 1000 ml means 1 liter. So 5000 ml means 5 liters. So cardiac output means 5 liters of blood pumped by the heart in 1 minute. So don't get confused with the previous class. So at last I did not end it, so we have to discuss. This is what we have discussed in last class, 5000 ml. Okay, so cardiac output is very simple. Cardiac output is total volume of blood pumped by the ventricles in 1 minute. So volume of blood pumped by the ventricles in a cardiac cycle is 70 ml. It is a 70 ml, that is called stroke volume, into multiplied by number of heartbeat. So it is cardiac output can be calculated by simple formula. Cardiac output is a product of stroke volume into heartbeat or heart rate. In very simple terms, cardiac output is equal to stroke volume, that is 70 ml, into number of heartbeats in a minute, that is 72 times. So it is 70 ml into 70 ml is a stroke volume into 72 times average heartbeat of a healthy person, so that you will get 5000 ml blood in 1 minute. That is a volume of blood pumped by ventricles in 1 minute. That is called cardiac output. That is what we have learnt. Then we get a sound lub dub, that also we have learnt. We have learnt that atrial systole. Atrial systole means contraction, diastole means relaxation. Then atrial diastole, then followed by ventricular systole, followed by ventricular diastole. Now what happens? When atria is having a systole, ventricle will have a diastole. Okay, Then when atrial diastole happens, then ventricle will have a systole in a coinciding. That means when atria undergoes contraction, ventricle relaxes. When atrium is having a relaxation, ventricle contracts. Okay, so these two and these two, no, it will happen together, one after the other. Okay, it happens together. So that is what causes cardiac cycle. That is what we have learnt in last class. I am just doing recap now. Cardiac cycle. So cardiac output is what we have calculated. Cardiac output is equal to stroke volume into heart rate, number of heartbeats per minute. So that is, stroke volume is 70 ml, that is a volume of blood pumped by the ventricles, into healthy person in 1 minute his heart beats 72 times. So it is what we get, 5040 ml, that is approximately, we say nearby value 5000 ml or 5 liters of blood pumped by the heart in 1 minute. This is cardiac output. That is, in 1 minute heart pumps 5000 ml of blood or 5 liters of blood in 1 minute. That is called cardiac output. Okay, so what we are saying in last class, stroke volume can be adjusted by the person, because if his breathing rate increases, like when we do exercise, when we are running or jogging, then lungs, take more and more oxygen, breathing rate increases. Then when we take more and more oxygen, heartbeat also will be fast. We have noticed that when we are running, heart will beat very fast. At that time it will be more than 72 times in a 1 minute. Heart beats more than 72 times in a minute when we are doing physical activities, that is for running, jogging and all. Okay, at that time stroke volume also changes. If stroke volume changes, heart rate also changes, then total cardiac output also changes. Now we have the ability to change stroke volume. When we change stroke volume, heart rate also changes, then total cardiac output value also changes. So normally in healthy person, okay, when he is not doing any vigorous physical activities, then volume of cardiac output is 5 liters. But we have the ability to increase this by doing physical exercise. When we are doing physical exercise, okay, vigorous physical exercise or gymming or jogging or running or any physical activities, then cardiac output increases. The volume will be more than this, because breathing rate increases, heartbeat increases, then more and more blood will be pumped by the heart. So volume of blood pumped by the ventricle increases. That is how cardiac output also increases. Okay, so this is what we have learned in last class. And by using stethoscope, when the doctor keeps stethoscope on the chest, they can hear heartbeat. Heartbeat, where you can hear the sound lub and dub. Lub sound is when what will close? Bicuspid and tricuspid valves will close. Closure of bi and tricuspid valves. When it closes, when auricle pumps blood to the ventricle, then valves will close. So when valves close, bicuspid, tricuspid valves close, then it produces sound lub. Then in the stethoscope you can hear. Then dub sound comes when semilunar valves will close. Closure of semilunar valves. What is semilunar valve? It's a valve present in aorta and pulmonary arteries. That is when left ventricle pumps blood to aorta, that is oxygenated blood. Then right ventricle pumps deoxygenated blood to pulmonary artery to go to lungs. At that time blood from both the ventricle enters aorta and pulmonary artery. At that time valve is there. Okay, when blood passes through it, blood should not come back. That is why the semilunar valves will close there. So blood passes through aorta, doesn't come back. It is only one way flow, because semilunar valve will block it. Even in the pulmonary artery also same thing. So when there is closure of semilunar valves, then you can hear this sound dub. This is what we have learnt in last class. Okay, because you should not have any confusion with cardiac output. So once again I explain. I hope this is very clear to you. There is no doubt at all. Okay, in case you get any doubt, you can ask me anytime. I told you. So we will go to today's concept, that is ECG. Most of you want to know. ECG stands for electrocardiograph. Electrocardiograph. Today we are learning about electrocardiograph. In short, we call ECG. You see there, electro E, cardio C, G, graph, electrocardiograph, single word. Okay, electrocardiograph is used to measure electrical activity of the heart during cardiac cycle. That means, in simple terms, if I should say, electrocardiogram says whether it shows whether heart is functioning normally or not. Function of the heart is normal or abnormal, that you will come to know by electrocardiograph. I think in movies and all you have seen that person who is on deathbed, he is connected to the machine, looks like a small monitor, no? And it will be producing that sound, peep, 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 peep sound, you know. You have seen that it produces a peaks like this, you know. Then when person goes to cardiac arrest, it doesn't show a peak, it shows a what peep sound it shows, no? So you have heard that when this is showing a peak like this, it shows peep, peep, peep sound produces. But when it goes flat, no, that then it shows peep. What you notice there, what you understand there is, when it becomes flat like this, person goes to cardiac arrest. And from cardiac arrest, he may permanently sleep, that is, he may die, or sometimes they will come back. Miracle happens, but usually miracle doesn't happen. If it shows P like this, you know, flat, no peaks, that means no functioning of heart. Heart is not working at all. Means no cardiac cycle is happening, ventricle is not pumping blood. Okay, so no electrical activity of heart. Why we are saying electrical activity of heart? Electrical activity because in the auricles, SAN is there, you know, sinoatrial node. It produces electrical signals, that is action potentials, you know, that is called electrical signal. That is why it is called electrical activity. Then in the ventricles, AVN is there, that is atrioventricular node or AV bundle, which produces signal or action potentials. So those two, SAN and AVN, produces electrical signals for contraction and relaxation of heart, for contraction and relaxation. That is why, that is what we call electrical activity of heart. Okay. So electrocardiograph is a machine which produces a graph. That graph is called electrocardiogram. Electrocardiograph is a machine and it produces a peak like this, you know. It shows on the monitor like this, no? That is called electrocardiogram. So result is called electrocardiogram. What is the function of electrocardiograph? Just to check whether person's heart is functioning normally or not. Okay, and to know, indirectly if I should say, to know electrical activity of the heart during cardiac cycle, whether cardiac cycle is happening properly, heart is pumping blood or not. Okay, that is what we will come to know by electrocardiograph. So it is used to measure or to know electrical activity of heart. Why did they say electrical activity? Because SAN, sinoatrial node, and AVN, atrioventricular node in the atrium and ventricle, releases electrical signal, that is action potential through neuron, that is, and that signal is required for, electrical signal is required for contraction and relaxation of heart. If contraction and relaxation happens, then only heart is functioning properly. Okay, that is why electrocardiograph is used to measure electrical activity of heart during cardiac cycle. Okay, so let us discuss. Well, now we can't discuss because I am talking to the camera here. So you will come to know when I explain about it. Okay. That is, if they want to measure electrical heart activity of any person, then how that machine should be connected to the body. Machine will have many electrical leads. Lead means, wire or cable. And to measure electrical activity of any person, his body will be connected with 3 cables. Okay, or 3 body is connected with 3 electrical leads. Leads means cables. Okay, where and all? On 2 wrists. Okay, left wrist and right wrist. Okay, there 2 cables will be connected. Okay, then third one is connected to the ankle, left ankle. Ankle means on the legs. No, so those 3 places it is connected. Okay, so where and all? One on each wrist and one on left ankle. Okay, on left wrist and right wrist and on the left ankle on the leg. So 3 places the machine with the cable it is connected. So you notice that a person is lying on the bed and his left wrist, right wrist and left ankle will be connected with the wire, and with those 3 wires his body is connected to the ECG, that is machine. Okay, then so why these 3 are connected? To continuously monitor that person. Continuously monitor means whether heart function is changing at any moment in the whole 24 hours, that whether it happens or not, that they will see. Okay, so if any change in cardiac cycle, okay, then they will come to know they have to treat that person and bring it back to normal. Okay, so he is under continuous observation. Okay, so that is for these 3 leads are connected to the body for continuous monitoring. Okay, sometimes we also see that multiple leads are connected to the chest portion. Multiple leads means sometimes you see that on the wrist 1 cable, on the right side one wrist 1 cable, on left side ankle 1 cable. Then you see that his chest will have many cables here. many cables, many wires you see, so many electrical leads you see, that is required. Many cables are required on the chest only when detailed evaluation is required, detailed monitoring is required on his electrical activity of the heart. So this is connected only when detailed electrical activity or detailed monitoring is required. Detailed monitoring is required means person is in very critical time, slight change in heartbeat also can cause death or lot of changes in the body, then they need minute details of cardiac activity also. So at that time only these 3 leads are not enough, they will have many leads on the chest. Okay, many leads are required on the chest portion. Okay, then a standard ECG which is applicable to all the human beings, standard ECG will show a graph that will be like this. It shows a graph like this. It shows a peak. You notice that this kind of peak they show, that is, this point is called P, this is Q, and this peak is R, then this is S, and this is T. So you see that it is PQRST, you see there, PQRST. Okay, what is that? P stands for electrical excitation or depolarization of atria. P stands for excitation, electrical excitation of atria. It is also called depolarization of atria. Meaning when auricles pump blood to the ventricle, then you see this kind of peak. Okay, when blood from the auricle enters left ventricle, that time what should happen? Atria should get excited, means it should contract, then pump blood to ventricle. So it is nothing but contraction of both the atria. So P stands for contraction of atria. Because of this contraction only, blood from the top 2 chambers goes to lower 2 chambers. That is, blood from auricle goes to ventricle. So at that time when blood from the auricle goes to ventricle, then you can see this peak, that is P. Okay, this peak, small peak P, indicates excitation of atria or depolarization of atria, or in other words you can say contraction of atria. Okay, then QRS stands for excitation of ventricle or depolarization of ventricle. Okay, so this QRS, what is that? QRS, this peak, QRS, this peak indicates when ventricles pump blood to aorta and pulmonary artery, that is taking the blood away from the heart, then it shows this peak. Because pressure from the ventricle is more, because with the pressure it pumps blood to aorta and pulmonary artery, so peak will be bigger, taller. So QRS stands for contraction of ventricles. In other words, in simple terms, if I should say, P is nothing but when auricles pump blood to ventricle. QRS is when ventricle pump blood to aorta and pulmonary artery. So it is contraction of ventricles or depolarization of ventricle, or you can also say excitation of ventricle. See, for both the processes, for this process, excitation of atria, sinoatrial node should send signal, electrical signal for contraction and relaxation. Here for depolarization of ventricle, AVN, that is atrioventricular node should send electrical signal. That is why we say electrical activity of heart. Okay. Then what is that T stands for? The T stands for when ventricles excited comes to normal state. That is, when ventricles excited comes to normal. Normal means when ventricles pump blood to aorta and ventricle, then ventricle comes to normal state. Okay, that is what is T. T is nothing but repolarization. See, that was depolarization when ventricles pump blood. So T is nothing but when excited ventricle comes back to normal position. Okay, that means contraction is over, ventricles come to relaxation state. When ventricles contract and pump blood to aorta and pulmonary artery, then it is QRS, that is contraction of ventricle. This is repolarization, means ventricle has already pumped blood to aorta and pulmonary artery, it has come back to normal state, no blood in the ventricle, so it is relaxed. So it is repolarization of ventricle, T. Okay, or you can say end of systole. This is systole, means it is a contraction of ventricle. This is contraction of auricle. This is auricular systole, this is ventricular systole, and this is diastole of ventricle. This is contraction of auricle, contraction of ventricle, this is relaxation of ventricle. Okay, then again same will continue. Then after T, P comes, then again QRS comes, then again T comes. So like that, peak by peak it will show. Okay, this is standard ECG graph for a healthy person. For a normal healthy person, it shows like this. If any mismatching happens with this graph, or any person's ECG graph doesn't match with this, it is indicated that, it shows that person's cardiac activity is not normal, it is abnormal. He has a problem. Okay, that is irregular heartbeat, what we say. Okay, once again I repeat. P stands for when auricles pump blood, that is contraction of auricles. Then QRS stands for when ventricle pumps blood, that is contraction of ventricle. Then T is when ventricles pump already blood, no blood in the ventricle, it comes back to normal state. Okay, so this is auricular contraction or auricular systole, this is ventricular contraction or ventricular systole, this is ventricular diastole. Or else you can say depolarization of auricle, depolarization of ventricle, and this is repolarization, coming back to normal state, that is relaxation, repolarization of ventricles. Okay, I hope you understood this. Okay, so any deviation from this shape, if any person's ECG is not showing this shape, it is showing different shape of the graph, that indicates abnormal heartbeat, he is not normal. This is for the healthy person. Okay, so what you have noticed in the movies and all, it shows a peak like this. Okay, if it shows flat like this, then person is, he went to cardiac arrest or he is dead. No, he is declared dead anyway. So I hope you understood this. Okay, so in next class we are going to learn in detail about double circulation, how exactly double circulation occurs and what are the disorders of circulatory system. With that chapter body fluids and circulation finishes. I didn't hurry at all. For small topics, not even one page in the textbook, for that I have taken one class, because I want to explain in detail and you have to understand it very well. Okay, your understanding is very important for me. Anyway, okay. So keep watching my classes. Thank you. In case you have any doubts, please message me or call me or send me voice message or take a picture of page in the textbook and send me, I'll answer. Okay, thank you.